We're good? All right, awesome. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to another episode of the Long Ash Podcast. I'm Chris, and I have another wonderful guest with me this week. We have Angelo from the Puros Music and Cigars podcast.
Yep.
Yes.
Puros and Music podcast.
Awesome. Yes. Thank you for being on today. This collaboration happened kind of rather quickly, and I think I would say successfully, because usually I feel like it's a lot of back and forth. But I've noticed, you specifically, because you run your Instagram page, right?
Yeah.
So
you mean as opposed to my people?
Yeah,
I don't have people.
people.
I don't have people. It's just me. Maybe sometimes my son,
That's great. No, yes, when you talk with we had Michael Herkotz on a while ago, you realize it's him and I think Brandon Scott.
Oh yes,
it's just them two doing
Literally,
everything.
yep.
Like John Huber does all the Instagram. So you have some companies that have social media teams, and you're like, yeah, you're doing everything.
Yeah.
But I've noticed that you were very active on our Instagram page, commenting, and then you reached out a while ago, being like, I'd love to collaborate, and here we are. So I really
thanks for having me.
No, I appreciate you coming on. When we were talking, I realized, you know a lot of people in the industry, and we've probably
I love
crossed
cigars. It just kind of, the community grows. So.
Yes, exactly. And we've crossed paths probably without knowing we were there at an event last year for CDM and the cigar you're smoking, right?
Yeah.
The company from the cigar
Well, this is
you're
the
smoking.
company, because this just dropped. But yeah, it's a small world. I guess you said you got there early, then you left. I arrived late because just came in from New York, right? We're in New Jersey, and I think I jumped right from my day job because I had to I wanted to support my friends. And this is, we'll get,
we'll get to it.
Jump to it, but we'll get to this. This is what my friend just,
awesome.
Another cigar he dropped. But yeah, so we were there for the Bronx Tale event.
Yeah, I thought that was really awesome. That's like one of the, I don't know, I don't know too many people who have seen that movie and like, I don't like it. It's like it is a classic. People love Chaz Palminteri. You and I were just talking about off air how he was great in Modern Family.
Yeah.
And the cigar's not that bad. Like, I want to say not that bad. I feel like,
because when you compare, you mean because people are like Padron, and when they compare like the boutiques, is that where your head's going?
I was going to say that, and I also
too.
think people see celebrities just coming into the industry, like they think they're going to make a quick cash grab or whatever.
Yeah.
But I think you're kind of seeing that differently with Guy Fieri and Espinosa with the knuckle sandwich.
Yeah.
I know Jeremy Piven. He's collaborated with Illusione. So, James Hetfield with Drew Estate.
Oh, well, the thing with that, because James, right, he's been a lifelong, right, cigar. But to me, like a cigar smoker, if we could circle back to Chaz, and where did you grow up, if you don't mind? Like, where's your
New Jersey.
And are you Italian or more?
Yeah.
See, I'm 100% Sicilian American, right? So to me, Chaz is like, he's a fixture, a staple. And in the Bronx, like, right, we grew up. I
grew up in New Jersey.
Oh, but did you grow up around cigars with like your uncles and and like all the old Italian?
Yep.
Yeah, like so for me too. Like my roots are from Brooklyn. I'm from Long Island, but like it's just like a New York Italian thing, or Jersey.
Yeah.
I'm just saying, in my my experience, that cigars have always been there.
It's always like the Noblis or the Avantis, right?
The
Perotis, yeah.
But I'm just saying, Chaz, it's like, yes, he's a celebrity, but the cigars maybe were in his life first.
Sure.
It's kind of what, you know what I'm saying?
Well, you look
he's not like a poser with,
no.
Yeah. No, I don't know. No, you don't think that, but I'm just saying.
Yeah, I feel like people would say like, oh, it's just another cash grab. But I feel like the more you talk to people, even like the manufacturers in this industry, or like you even mentioned Chaz Palminteri, it was probably, cigars were such a huge part of growing up and the culture around them.
Yeah.
I think that's why you watch Sopranos, and Tony's always has a cigar in his mouth, and I've done videos where I feel like, I say like cigars kind of, they're always kind of associated with success and winning. If you're big into sports,
of course,
every time someone wins a
like
championship,
the World Series, this and that,
they're smoking a cigar.
Boom, break
right?
out the bottle.
So So I think like you said, Italian American, it just reminds you of your family, and I think having a Bronx Tale cigar, it's going to bring.
It's apropos, really, to our culture. I think to marry the Italian world with the cigar world, I think it was great, and that like I said, and also Paulie. Have you met Paulie?
I have.
Because
he probably doesn't remember me, but I met him at the event.
Oh, sure.
And I talked to him a little bit. I filmed him and Chaz for the event to talk about the Bronx Tale cigar.
Yeah.
And he seemed Paulie just seemed like a ball of energy.
Yeah.
A lot of positive, like very charismatic. I feel like when you get a few people who are extremely introverted in this business, but also very extroverted.
Yeah.
And he seemed like he could talk to a wall for a half hour, right? Like he just seemed like
he's a good guy.
He had such a great personality,
but the fun thing with that is that his factory in the Bronx has been there, I believe, for 30 years. So it's like a hidden gem.
Really?
Yeah, I think they were just featured in Cigar Aficionado.
That's
did you see
cool.
like they're featuring New York? It's
No,
just dropping,
I didn't
like,
see that.
Oh, it's just dropping like right this. I don't know when this comes out, but it's just literally dropping now. And the crazy thing is that there are Martinez in Manhattan and stuff. Like there are hidden gems in New York that they've been rolling fresh cigars. And like for over 30 years. Martinez has been there for 50. I think Paulie, it's safe to say he's been rolling for 30 in the Bronx. So that's like people like they.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. You got to go down there, actually do an interview, like feature the.
I would love to. Now that I know that.
Yeah.
I had no idea that there were factories, because when you think of cigar factories, are you really thinking of the Bronx or any of the 5 boroughs? I don't think you are.
That's right. I think that's so
really
cool,
interesting.
Right? It's like an inside. Yeah.
That's cool. So yeah, I want to hear about like your journey into cigars.
Gotta light this.
How long have you been? Well, first of all, what got you into cigars?
That's a good question. A couple things. I think first and foremost is just it was there since I was a little girl. I mean, I do. We have few and far between memories, I think, from birth to age 5. So I would say when I was like 6, I have these vivid memories of family picnics at Eisenhower Park. If, people are familiar with, shout out to, because not only New Yorkers go to Eisenhower Park, have you ever been to like certain events on the island growing up as like a young, or I mean, the city. You probably went in the city for like the San Gennaro Fest and stuff.
Yes, I went into Manhattan a lot. I remember my dad would take my sister and I to San Gennaro Fest.
Yeah.
I would like to take like my kids now, maybe when they're a little bit older.
Well, next year I believe is going to be the 100th. So you've got to take the kids. I even told my sons already. I'm like, we have to plan now to like, because everybody
wild.
Goes.
Yeah, it's like a 9 or 10 day festival as well. I remember really quickly, not to go off too beaten path, for my wedding in 2021. It was the day before. It was like the day we got married, the day before Easter. But my sister, my friends were up, and it was the day after it was on Easter evening, actually. My friends stayed for Easter, and then my sister's like, I miss the city. I think I would like to go into Little Italy tonight.
Yeah.
And my buddy was like, I've never been. And we're like, we're going. Like, so Easter evening, we went in, we drove to Hoboken, took the path to Little Italy. And it was cool. And he was just, he's not Italian. And he was just like, he was just kind of in awe. And then like, although we had Easter dinner, we went to an Italian restaurant, and like, I think we had like 2 bottles of wine. We crushed food. Like it was just a nice.
Oh, I have.
And like in that moment, I was like, it's like, man, there's nothing better than being Italian. I don't know. Like my mom is very. She's very like La Familia. I'm not. I feel kind of weird doing that, but there's certain things I would like to do with my kids that are like that. But my mom is very, very like that. She didn't like, growing up. She's like, yeah, Goodfellas, Sopranos. Like she didn't let us watch it because she thought it was like disrespectful to Italian American culture.
Yeah.
But I mean, there's like I said, there's that movie that came out earlier this year, Nona's. Like I feel like a lot of people make fun of Italians.
That's what my kids call my mom.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I just think
that was a proud moment. It's like full circle.
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah.
You said you rememred.
No,
when you were a kid going to Eisenhower Park.
Yeah, easily have memories from when I was 6 of like my Uncle Philly, which is my right. I swear, I tell people if
that's your Italian card right there. You have an Uncle Philly.
Yeah. And I tell people if I win the lottery, I'm gonna the next day I'm gonna open up a lounge, call it Uncle Philly's as like a tribute. But no, he was always biting on the cigar, just chewing on it, unbanded, shucking clams in the bucket. Because my other grandpa, I was fortunate. I had two grandpas and a great grandpa because I'm like, it was like firstborn, like my mother got married at 19, so like I was the age of like I still knew my great grandma.
That's awesome.
So it was pretty cool, and they came straight from Sicily. They didn't really speak English, and I just kind of remember a lot of my family after dinner they'd play casino. I don't really know all the rules to casino because we played poker with my kids as like family fun game night. But I just remember all the cousins and uncles, they would be like, come on, get the cards. And like all the guys, of course the ladies weren't allowed. I'm talking in the 70s and stuff and the 80s. They weren't offering me a cigar. Nobody, by the time I even turned 21, I'm like, who's going to offer me a cigar? But I didn't really smoke until like later in life, because then once I had kids, it's kind of like that weird thing. I think I kind of did that thing of like, we all, as parents, you lead by example. But I had some taboos about what if my sons see me with this in my mouth, and I just felt, I don't know. But so I did it when I was older. And now I have, my sons are 19, they're twins, and it's all cool. But at first I had a lot of like hang-ups about like, when am I going to start smoking cigars for me?
Yeah.
I've been waiting, since I was 6, because I always loved the smell.
Yes.
And I loved the smell of pipe tobacco too. My neighbor had a pipe.
Sweeter to me.
Oh,
it's a sweeter smell to me.
Like
the
smell down the street.
Either people don't like the smell of it, or like my wife will never have a cigar, but she's like, I guarantee when I come home tonight, she's like, oh, you had a cigar today. Like she'll know, because it gets, the smell gets in your beard, it gets in your clothes.
Oh, I have cigar clothes. Do you?
That's smart.
I have to like strip down when I get home, and then put on my
I like when I get home.
You walk in the garage, you just put the clothes.
Yeah, when I get home, I immediately jump into like, I guess, I don't know, my version of PJ. It's basketball shorts and a t-shirt, and I'll throw these in the hamper. But like we went to an event last week. I came home with like the camera bag and everything. And like I got out of the car, I was like, wow, I really smell. Like the moment I walked in, my wife was like, oof.
Yeah.
I'm like, I know, that's what happens, because we were in a smaller room in an event. When you're outside, it's not, you're not smelling as much. But she loves the smell, because she says it reminds her of her dad.
Yeah.
And he's like my cigar smoking buddy. And my stepdad, but like my father-in-law, he gets the benefits of if we get a little, if we get some cigars here and there. I'm like, I already have this in my stash. I think he'll appreciate it. I've kind of opened up his palate a little more, I would say. He was always like I said, Avantis, Perotis, DeNoblis. Now he's, I give him a little Romeo, Monte Cristo.
Totally, yeah.
And he's like, oh my God, he'll save the wrapper to be like, can you get me a box of these?
Yeah,
and
man.
He loves Fuente. Like, I feel like a lot of, like my stepdad too, I feel like that age range, they love Fuente. They were raised on it. My first cigar was the Monte Cristo White series.
Oh, what was one of my first was a Casa de Garcia.
Okay.
Because at first I was just with friends and really guys. Like when you're hanging out really with like the couples and like all the dudes. Again, the dudes were really smoking. And I was just like, raise my hand. Hey, can I join like the dude circle around the fire pit? It was always the ladies off bantering about something else, and the guys are just doing their whiskey and cigars. I'm like, I need to break in to this. So they were like, come on, Ange,
That's awesome.
sit down. Yeah. Don't be shy. And so I got a Casa de Garcia, and it was a Connecticut, and I loved it actually. Those, and then I just actually I got it. I was telling you, I'm a customer of JR,
Yes.
but you didn't. I was talking to Nick downstairs. It was JANDR cigars.com. Like you had to type it in, I think.
Yeah.
The .com. Now it's just JR.
Now it's
cigars.
just JR cigars.
It just brings you right.
The
but
online has changed.
I would buy the bundles, because once I tasted it, I was like, ooh. So that was a good value. And then, but really, the Monte Cristo White was like kind of my next, more like big, like the ring gauge was bigger.
Yeah.
And then AJ Fernandez in the early days I would just smoke AJ.
What, any
line
in particular?
He did the was it the Romeo E?
Yes.
Now, how do you say that right? Julieta. I probably say it wrong.
If I'm going to sound like an idiot, I say Julieta. I have said Julieta. But it's the crafted by, right? By AJ.
Yeah, I love
that one's great.
Yeah, when I had that again, went to jr.com, this and that, and just bought a whole slew of them. Because the thing is, I'll tell you this, and because I'm saying how I'm going online, but I do support the shop. But
Yeah.
I don't, where I particularly live in the Hudson Valley, there was, at the time when I first started, there was no shops around me that had anything. So I was buying online.
Yeah.
And also when the pandemic hit, I was going to JR because you couldn't,
No, you couldn't.
But
Everything
but
was
now
shut
I
down.
have but now there's a couple shops. Actually, if I may,
Yeah,
can
of
I give a
course.
shout out to Carmel Cigar Vault? They opened 3 branches, and there's one they finally just opened by my house. It's like probably less than 10 minutes. And I was like, I walked in the shop. They just opened this summer, and I was like doing cartwheels. I'm like, I finally have a lounge I could
Yes.
take my bike to.
Yeah.
Because I like to support local. But,
No.
I had nowhere to go and sit in my backyard and smoke.
That's even better if it's 10 minutes away.
Oh yeah. But
yeah.
I do want to. I do want to. Can we? I do want to give props. Well, I do want to definitely give props because I don't want to. We were talking about Paulie. I don't want to get too far.
Yeah.
I just definitely want to say this is the new Prodigal Son, and I only had one left in my humidor. I apologize, Chris. I would have brought you one.
You're good.
I was gonna give this to him to smoke, but he was like, "You're good, you're good."
Yeah.
But this just dropped, the Prodigal Son, and this is what he did the Chaz, and now he's doing this. And this is Do you know this guy? The Sweep the Leg. What's his name? Martin Cove, the actor.
Yes.
So that.
So he's teaming up with Martin Cove.
Yeah.
Oh, that's
so this
great.
is out. This just dropped.
Oh, that's perfect. Yeah, because
I'll get you some. When I'm back down in Jersey. I'll
definitely.
I'll bring
we could do
you.
some cigar. I like cigar swapping. Honestly.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Martin Cove. Yeah, he's gained so much popularity.
Yeah.
Or regained popularity with Cobra Kai.
Well, this is actually, I think, the Prodigal Son. He's doing like a comic book series called The Prodigal Son, I believe, and that's where they kind of get the name from. So that's like his character he built.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
Do you know the the specs of the cigar, where it was made,
No,
any
you know
tobaccos?
what? It's actually, because I was gonna, I did a little small blast of it online. It is secret right now. I don't know if they're gonna release it. It does advertise as like a secret blend, but I think, and Sanj, you know Sanj, right?
Yes.
He and that's a fact. Like they announced, Paulie and Sanj kind of like worked together to put this out, and it's Dominican, but I don't know what the wrapper binder.
The wrapper looks.
It's
if I had to guess, I would say like a broadleaf.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
It looks good.
The drawer is open. I love a good.
Is it a box press or is that just my eye?
No, I probably just.
Yeah, no, it's not.
No, I don't want to crush it in my purse there when I was coming up.
Nice.
But
I love the band.
Yeah.
The size is perfect too.
Yeah. So it's just I know. I do say, like when you do reviews, do you talk about the band? Because I actually, like, as opposed to just like the rapper, I talk about the band too, believe it or not, because I really think it's true that when you walk into a shop humidor, you do kind of, they say you eat with your eyes first.
Yeah.
First of all, that's true too, and people will say like, well, how is that? And it's like, but you eat with your eyes at a buffet. Because I always, my example is always like, okay, I love eggplant, like more than chicken, let's say. I love eggplant. And if you see someone's eggplant dish or something, it might not look the way so even though you love eggplant, maybe you're not going to
go right to that
if you're at a
dish.
potluck or something, you see a food.
I would say.
So that's why I think
that's a really good question,
Mm-hmm.
because last episode we had a graphic designer on, and I kind of asked the same thing, like, is there certain products that the look of it draws you right in? I think the way boxes are designed and bands are designed, everyone has to come up with kind of a story to like the band or the box presentation or the story of the cigar. I tend to talk about the band, especially if there is like facts about it. One company that comes to mind is Foundation. They always have a theme behind every cigar line. Nick Melillo's always paying tribute or homage to things because he's such a he's a history buff.
Totally.
Yeah. So those I try to point out when I do a lot of writing for the company too. I'll talk about how the band complements the rapper. What you know, I think I give them a shout out all the time because I love them. But like Crown Heads, I think
Their marketing
Foundation.
it's gotten better actually. It's on
yeah.
point. Yeah.
Tatuaje with the
Yeah.
Monster series, like
Yeah.
it just complements so well. So I think I try to talk about the band because to me, you know, every part of the cigar, there's
Matters.
an important
Yeah.
element to it.
Yeah.
So
There's like you said, history, thought behind it.
yeah, like that looks like an old
Yeah.
Western wanted poster.
Yeah.
You know,
Most wanted. Pew, pew.
yeah, yeah, really. No, it does.
Yeah, it's
It
cool.
looks like that. And I think every little thing that goes into making a cigar line, I truly think people who are a little more newer to cigar smoking don't really understand everything that goes behind it, and even to the box design. You know, one thing that kind of made me like shake my head in awe was the Ferio Tego boxes can double as humidors. And you know, like I said, I've only been in the industry 6 years, so like to
whatever
me,
Michael does is
to me
a home
that's
run
like
hit, a grand slam.
to me that's
Yeah.
that's great because cigars, like who really, I'm sure more often than not people obviously have humidors at home.
Yeah.
But for me, like before I bought a humidor, I had a Tubador.
Yeah, I was gonna say, do you have something like this, the tall?
No,
I don't
no.
either. But that's like cigar
That's
goals.
like that's I don't even know how many count that is. I want to say, if I'm not mistaken, like 1,200 count.
Yeah, that's nice.
And they're not even full, really.
Do you have like a little like a frigidor? Is that what it's called?
No,
Or
no.
you just have
I
something
have
that's
a
not
humidor.
electric. It's
I have
not
a
electric. What you
I have a
at home.
humidor now. Yeah, it's not electric.
Do you have like a cedar box?
Yep.
Yeah.
And I'll-
Tabletop?
yep.
That's what I have too.
And
yeah.
I'll wipe
Yeah.
it down with
Oh, it's so
distilled
beautiful.
water.
Yeah.
My father-in-law, he put like a shot of whiskey in there.
Oh, interesting.
Alongside distilled, and
Yeah.
he said that the smell.
Yeah.
I know some people frown upon it because
No, I don't. Yeah.
some people are like, why are you putting, because I've seen
No, I'm
videos out
into
there of people
different
dipping
things.
cigars in whiskey.
That's what I have. I have a video.
Do you? You did? Okay.
Yeah, I replicated. Who didn't? Right? The Arnold.
Arnold, yeah.
I did. I actually did the whole thing. I did. I was trying to like be cute about
And?
it. What?
Did it taste good?
Oh no, I'm down for it because I
Okay.
have like I have a super palette by like I did the litmus test my son's science kit. So but I'm down for all different types of, even with foods, like I'm down for all different types of flavors, spiciness. But yeah, to do the dipping, I'm not against it.
Yeah.
I don't do it all the time, but I'm not against it.
I've never done it. Honestly.
Oh yeah, it's fun. It's something
because I feel like
to
people
do.
were like, "What are you doing?" But
No, I did it with
it would be
tequila.
interesting to.
Yeah.
It would be interesting to, I guess, try it once. I know. I've heard people say in general, just
Yeah.
you're ruining the flavor of the
Yeah,
cigar.
sure.
But for me,
I mean, people listen in the comments. Don't listen.
Yeah.
Don't come. Listen.
Yeah, don't come for her.
I like to be light with
Yes.
stuff. Have fun, because and if you see my if people that do follow my podcast that knows, check out my first couple episodes. I don't really dive too deep into my personal story because for me, like in my past, let's say, because I have had some certain childhood traumas, but like I'm of the age now, and like I said, my kids are already, they're in college. So I just want to be like fun and light at this point. Like if I was 30, maybe I would have been like more like
serious.
Been like, get that away from me. I'm not into something new and different. And I'm, because I was still stuck in, whatever, trying to discover myself to go through the pain. But so that's why it's like certain people, I don't know where their like knee-jerk anger comes from, because it's it's and also maybe the age that they are. It's like I feel like it's maturity to just say like, okay, you want to dip your cigar in a little tequila? Listen, I'll do me.
I will say as I'm getting older, I hate to say it like this, like my will to kind of give a shit about the small stuff is not there. And you could talk from like a movie standpoint, TV show, sports, like it's not like, why am I going to spend all my time online being angry about something? I think when it comes down to it, it's, whether it be certain things within the cigar industry that are changing that people may not like. I think for the most part, most of us want change. And, like I said, we were talking a little bit about it off camera with, the cigar aficionados list, having a 30-year-old cigar is number one. Like, I think cigar smokers kind of want some like new thing to try.
Yeah, like this
because
just
it's
dropped,
always coming
and
out.
even the aroma on this, it's phenomenal.
Yeah.
So it's like you talk 30-year-old cigar, but 30 plus years of knowledge went into making this cigar. So this is new to market. But the people, first of all, Sanj and Paulie, they, like I said, they've both been. Sanj has been in it over probably 40 years.
Yeah.
And so the knowledge and the tobaccos that they've had aging in their factories in the Dominican or wherever it may be, Nicaragua, that's not new.
No.
And if they've had tobacco sitting for 6 years and then they just put it in this, then that's what I think sometimes the consumer doesn't realize. And some of it to me, and we could talk movies because you're a filmmaker, that's a good kind of like segue to, it goes with this because here's what I want to say. You know how like when Rolling Stone magazine and this and that, or like critics would be like, oh, that new AC/DC song, it sucks.
Yeah.
Like, have you even ever played guitar in your life? Like, so people that kind of criticize maybe the boutiques, or they're like the old school heavy hitters. It's like, okay, but like, have you been to a factory? Have you aged tobacco?
That's
have you
my
rolled
thing.
a cigar?
No.
So
that's my thing. I get really, I get pissed off. I don't really express it a lot, but I do get
because you're a gentleman.
Oh, thank you. But like, I get pissed off when because everyone is entitled to an opinion. I think when I look at some of these podcasts online that are more geared towards movies and stuff, my first question would be, have you ever been on a film set?
Right.
Have you ever made a movie? Like, I've never made a feature film. I've been in a few independent feature films. I've only ever made short films. And that you have to be kind of on all cylinders to make a halfway decent project. So there's times, but then on the flip side, I'm becoming a little more anti-studio in terms of them thinking, it's because it's a bunch of older people thinking what will sell, or they're just thinking this is just going to make money. I don't give a shit about the story. I don't care about how it's going to come off. That to me as a writer, that infuriates me, because I think if you have a good story, and if you have people out there who can tell good stories, I think people are going to resonate with that more than the 15th Fast and Furious movie. But that's just my opinion. But you do have a lot of people online when it comes to cigars where I've seen comments where they just they only care about the deal, or they only care about they don't necessarily care about the history. They just want to maybe know why this, like why we're not doing a review on this cigar, or how could this be in our top 10 and not this, right?
Yeah.
And it's all preference. It's all, because like I said, we're pretty big on kind of commenting on aficionados list. But the thing I've said, and I'm going to beat into nauseum, I guess, and I'd love to hear your response. Yeah, it could go both ways,
because you could either be loved or hated for it.
Yeah, but it's like this year's Oscars nominating a movie that came in 1995. That's how I associate the aficionado list.
Yeah.
And you're telling me, I don't even know how many cigars come out a year. I know like Half Reel has a list of like all releases. That they have to be upwards to what?
Hundreds.
Would you say over 700 different cigars come out?
I would say, yeah. My head went to 300 to 500.
300 to 500, yeah, easily.
A year.
And the Opus X is
you can't even keep up.
Yeah, and the Opus X is the number one that year.
Yeah,
like
right.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just think there just needs to be more. I don't know. I feel like I'm at an age right now, because I'm 37, and I feel like I'm at an age right now where I'm gonna see things change in terms of like old guard to new guard with everything, with studios, because there's gonna be people in the studios that are gonna eventually be my age, or there's gonna be people in the industry that are gonna be my age. So like, what they like and what they might determine number one. You might start seeing it towards people our age, because there's not like an 80-year-old man like.
Well, I feel like community is taking over now, which is a good thing in my opinion, because people are more independent in what they're making all across the board, whether it be food trucks, like even like the nature of like a restaurant, let's say. The game has changed across the board for any industry because of, I think, the social media, because
Yes.
I think that the critic side of things, critics to movies, critics to music, critics to, feel like the critics of the cigars, that it shouldn't really be critiqued. It should just be, it can be reviewed as your opinion, like, because I do reviews, but if I have my community, so it's Angela and her podcast and my friends are on, and then it kind of branched to like, what's my cigar community, then like, who do I know that knows other like industry leaders, but it's really, it grew organically. Right, like I just happened to make friends with certain people that make cigars, and then was like, oh hey, and then I met Nick Melillo. It's like, and then it's like, well, I never thought that would happen, but it's like he lives, his Connecticut is in our backyard, you and I's backyard, and the tobacco fields from here are less than 2 hours away. So people don't realize that. So what I'm saying is, community is going to drive it. You have your social media, and if I'm going to review a cigar, which I do, then my community is going to know what I mean. They're going to either agree with me or just say, or they're going to try a cigar because Ange, said try it. If they don't like it, but they tried it, they could comment, and that's how we learn and grow. But I just feel like old guards, like a Rolling Stone magazine, if I, and I'm not meaning really, I'm not trying to put them down, because I was a subscriber to that magazine basically my entire youth until I think actually until the pandemic, because I kind of, everything hit the fan, and I was like, and then the line of work I was in, I'm a retired wedding DJ, and couldn't work. I couldn't work, and that. So anyway,
that part wasn't awesome. Being
I started that in 98, so I had my fill of that. I had, but I'm just saying. So, you can't. I definitely believe you can't just be somebody in a cubicle critiquing, like I said, an AC/DC song or Metallica. Speaking of cigars, because they have their own cigar, and it's like, but did you take guitar lessons, and did you write your own song?
Do you know how hard it is to make it? Yeah,
because then it's just your opinion. Yeah, it's your neighbor's opinion, because it's like, would you take your neighbor's opinion on something? Maybe I don't know.
I mean, if it depends on this is the thing, and I don't know what you would classify this as. My thought process: if there's something that I know more than you at. Mm-hmm. And you're saying things that are either wrong or they're misconstrued. Like,
just for like clickbait or something.
I try not to correct people, because I feel like when people I do feel like when people correct me, they're doing it because like, aha, I'm right about something, or that. Like, unless if they are like out there saying like bullshit, really, like real like things that could either harm themselves, whether it's they post something online, I'm like, hey man, you should probably double check that or not do that, because who knows? Like, people post stuff online, they lose their job. Yeah. But I mean, it really depends. But then when I'm talking with someone and I don't know as much as they do, I just know by proxy. Like, I know if I'm talking cigars with Nick Melillo, I'm not going to try and sound like I know what I'm talking about. Right. I'm going to sit back and I'm going to listen. Right. And I think we've lost that with the power of social media. Yeah, because it's too quick. Everything's too quick. Yeah. And yeah, that's what I was trying to get at. And I agree with you when you said about the movie, like making something with deeper feelings, slowing down, more history to it. Because people, like the next generation, I see this even kids younger than my sons, I do see the next generation. Well, you have young kids. Yes, it's a whole different ball game of like, because you and I, we used to sit through like, okay, say the sound. Well, you're younger than me, but the Sound of Music. Yes. Used to come on TV, or even like what's it? Over the Rainbow. How come I can't? Wizard of Oz. Yeah. Yes. That religiously used to come on TV when we were kids, but every Easter, whatever it was. Yeah. But like we would have to sit through commercials.
we had to sit through commercials because there was no. First of all, my day, we didn't. My mother didn't buy cable. We didn't even have cable. We just had channel, 246, 247.
Well, the
I grew
funny
up
thing
on Long Island. We didn't even. I'm just saying. So we kind of, at my age, because I'm older than you, I'm kind of used to it's already in me, bred in me to like things were slower.
But even you have people like closer to my age, closer to Tyler's age, who are like, why am I doing this one episode a week BS? And it's like, we grew up on that with certain shows. Mm-hmm. Like, I remember like I forgot who I was talking to, I think someone here about this, where you binge watch a show from the 90s. Let's say just Friends. You binge watch Friends, or you binge watch another show. She was talking about this show that came out a while ago called The OC. And then when you binge it, you're binging.
Is that with Lauren Conrad? Is that what's that?
No, the OC. No, that's.
I feel like I know that.
The OC was
that was The Hills.
That was The Hills. The OC was like a narrative TV show.
Okay.
And one of the characters, every other episode or every 2 episodes, was fighting someone. Mm-hmm. When you binge it, it's like, man, this guy fights a lot.
Yes.
But when it comes out week to week it feels spread out. Mm-hmm. Same with Friends. I remember the season finales were always like a cliffhanger.
Yes.
And then the next episode, the new season. You
had to wait.
You had to
all
wait.
Summer.
So I remember in September, Friends is coming back. Let's see who Ross chose this time, 100%. And it ends up being like a cliffhanger.
Yes.
But that's the thing now. But like, my wife is
right. The new generation doesn't experience.
Yeah, but like my wife is a little bit.
You have to wait 3 months.
Yeah, she's a little bit younger than me, and she watches one. I watch one show with her on Amazon that comes, and Amazon does this. It does week to week, and she's like, she will say, "I'd rather wait for it to all come out so then we can binge it." Yeah. And a part of me is like, you grew up like watching week to week shows, but we're just so accustomed to having everything now.
Yeah,
and there's not that moment to savor things.
Yes.
And I think that's I can't really speak on this with the cigar industry. I don't really feel, maybe there's companies out there that feel like they need to like one heavy hitter after another in 1 year.
To stay relevant?
With versus
well, see, you just
like a Daniel Day-Lewis who doesn't have to.
Michael just said that on your. I watched and I love him. Ferriote. He just kind of He just said we talked about that. Right. Yeah. He does. However you put it, like an album, the hits. He's doing the hits.
Yeah.
He's still playing the hits. He's not.
I mean, I think that's important.
Is that what you're trying to say?
Yeah, I think it's important to. No. Yeah, we are.
Because you are right. There are some certain cigar companies right this second. It's like they almost tripping on their feet to get out the next blend, and I'm like, okay, what? You can't.
Yeah, Michael said it doesn't even give you time to
right, and to smoke. But it also, if you know really the depth of cigars, you don't. Even myself, as much as I love cigars, I tell people, I kind of joke with the cigar podcast. I'm like, I don't even smoke nearly as many cigars as you think I would. Like I tell people, because I don't have first of all, if I don't even know if I'll get to finish this right now, right? So then I'll put it down, leave, and this and that. But I'm saying like. It could seem like I'm smoking like 10 cigars a day. I'm not. I'm smoking like 2 a week, even.
Yeah.
But what I'm saying is, so let's say like, you mentioned Crown Heads, okay, which I love. I love Crown Heads. So they drop a cigar. You need time to savor it, and to me too, to do a review, I have to smoke that particular cigar at least 3 or 4 times before, and because it takes a half hour, right, to 2 hours to even get through a premium cigar. Yeah. So I feel like I have to savor it. I have to get the flavor notes. And as you know, right, the first, second, and last third, right, the notes change. So I feel like you need time to even enjoy what drops. And then if 8 months goes by and they're dropping another, it's like I didn't even have time to get through the one you just dropped 8 months ago. I'm still, learning, hitting flavor notes. So are we?
Yeah, we're definitely on the same page.
Yeah, because I kind of agree with you. I feel like it has been very steadfast with what they're dropping. I'm like, I can't even keep up.
No, I can't. I mean, it's tough to keep up. And, for like our top 25 list, we try to keep up and try to like what's coming out. We try to, whatever we smoke that year, we kind of have a rule too, is like we try not to go past any cigars that have been relevant for 3 years, right? Maybe there's a cigar last year that didn't make our list that will, if we smoked it throughout the course of the year and we were consistent with it and we loved it, then I would say, we'll have that on our list. But no, I mean, it's just, I think everything is just so fast paced, and it feels like at times the cigar industry is trying to be fast paced, but everything about cigars is not. It takes forever
Right.
to curate all this stuff,
Totally.
you know? So it's
It's almost, yeah, it's almost, is oxymoron the right word?
no, it is.
That's
Yeah, it is. It is.
yeah, because that's what I just, I kind of actually had an aha moment when you were saying that, just because it's true. This what we're doing right this second is a slowing down process. But when yeah, you cannot put a cigar out quick anyway,
No.
because like I said, in the factories in in wherever it is, Nicaragua, this and that, Honduras, Dominican, I mean, we know
Everywhere, yeah. Everywhere.
that people don't realize that tobacco's aging. That tobacco is fermenting.
Mm-hmm.
Right? Doesn't it take like at least a year? What, I don't know. Like
I think some of them
like
take
it hangs in the barn.
Yeah, I think it takes out. It depends on it depends on the company.
In the
Yep.
pilons, if that's how you pronounce it.
Yeah,
So,
yeah. It depends. It depends on the company, right? Like we could be, you know, if a cigar came out, whether it be this year, like they probably started that process
2 years ago,
2-3 years ago.
Yeah, because it's not like when broccoli comes out of the ground, you eat the broccoli. When tobacco leaf comes out of the ground and they pick it, it then hangs in the barn for what? At least 6 months, I think. At least it hangs.
And I always say, like, if you're gonna buy us, I mean, it's depends on the person. If let's say you're buying a box of cigars versus 5 or 6 singles. I feel like if you're buying singles, you're buying to smoke them this week, today, whatever it may have you. With a box of cigars, and you put them in your humidor or whatever device you have. I still have a box of the Crown Heads Mother Church 50th that we did. That was 4 years ago. I still have a half a box left because I love that cigar, but it smokes completely different now than it did in 2021.
I was going to say, if you have something sitting for at least anybody who has like a vintage cigar or something aging at home in your humidor, the flavor notes will change a little.
Completely.
They will. Naturally, they'll change a little.
I've never smoked a cigar when it was rolled. Like, there's people who've smoked a cigar once it's first rolled, they light it up. I feel like you're going to get the most strength out of it right there.
Yeah.
With aging it does the intensity does dilute a little bit, but then you get more flavors because it's aging. It's like anything that ages, whether it be spirits, whiskey, wine. I don't know if you really have to age beer, or if I'm sure there's beer out there that has been fermented or cooked multiple times and it sits there. But no, I keep saying over and over, there's really nothing like this, and I do love talking about it with the little knowledge I have, because I feel like you're always growing and expanding your knowledge. So let's talk a little bit about your podcast, how it started. Cool. Please give the name of it so people can follow. But I'd love to just hear kind of like how it started and how much fun you have doing it.
Yeah, thank you for having me. First and foremost, it is definitely, I have to say, shout out to everyone, literally everyone that watches this or in the cigar community. It is my absolute pleasure to be here. I feel blessed to be part of this community because of the nostalgia of my family.
Yes.
But my podcast is called Puros and Music Podcast. It's like this whole big thing. On YouTube, when I first joined, because my name is Angela, right? AA, I just typed in Authentically Angela as like my YouTube channel. Because to believe it or not, I was going to kind of do like just woodworking out of my garage with me smoking. Like I would just, me puttering around my yard. I was like smoking and I'm like, I just kind of had like a cute idea of like, what am I going to do? So first I called it Puros and Music Workshop, but so it was like the branding was all muddled.
Yeah.
So I'm like, you know what? Okay, I'm gonna strip this down. So with Instagram, I'm on Spotify. You can watch and listen on Spotify. This and that, YouTube. I just decided, okay, I'm gonna just call it Puros and Music Podcast across the board. So clean that up. They say get your branding.
Yes. Yes.
So, but oh my God, sorry.
No, you're good.
I don't want to like misspeak.
Oh no, you're good. You're good. You're
when
good.
I just said that too. No, so I just was I had a girlfriend, one of my girlfriends, Marcy. She's my original host. So I just kind of had like an aha moment. I was like, oh, I think there's so much content out there. How could I be different and how could I stand out?
Does she
And
smoke?
yeah, so
Awesome.
she loves cigars. Her and her husband smoke cigars, and I said, would you? She said yes before I even asked. I'm like, can you be on my podcast? Can you be my co-host? So we just kind of like we launched it, and it just snowballed. Honestly, I can't put it into words because it's just I'm moving with it.
Yeah.
It's been a few years now, and it just one thing led to another. I do all the editing. I do, as you know, you're a filmmaker. It could be, it takes me like a whole week just to get like 40 minutes worth of content out on Spotify, and then I had to learn how to like upload it to Spotify properly because at first it was no video, and I kept asking all my friends. I'm like, how the heck do I do this? And so it's been a blast. It's been a blast. I've met some cool people. We're enjoying cigars. I really loved and music. It's about cigars and music because I play music. I've been playing piano since I was a little girl.
Oh wow.
Yeah, and I play guitar and drums. But that's just like for fun. But when I was in college, I was in jam bands, and when I even before I had the podcast, because like I said, I was like just in my yard, in my fire pit, smoking a cigar. And to me, I felt like it was important to like play an album, like from really start to finish, kind of like use this time, because this could take up to 2 hours, to kind of allow me it's like can't really read with a cigar. I mean, you can, but I can't read with a cigar. I know Marcy loves to, because I felt like the ash would get. So I just was like, got my Bluetooth speaker, and I wanted to like kind of re-listen to like, let's say like Van Halen 1984 album, like that's from when I was a kid, right? Just kind of really listen to it, and really hear every note, and while enjoying this. So it just kind of, and so at the end of every show, I like to make sure I'm talking about music.
That's awesome.
So
I'm going to put you on the spot here. What has been your favorite experience, both like what cigar and album, like
go hand in hand?
Go hand in hand. You can name a few. What's some of your go-to?
I would say, because I did do a lot, I think the Romeo y Julieta, right? I'm pronouncing that wrong. Crafted by AJ. I did a lot. I've had a lot of those. I'll light those up, a Toro. Sometimes I enjoy 6x60 cigar. And I'll do 1984 Van Halen album. I'll do Indigo Girls has, I think it's called Shaming of the Sun. That's kind of a cool album to go start to finish. I'm a big Pearl Jam fan, so I even like went back to 10 and Versus, because that's like when I was just started college, like just actually at the minute I think I graduated high school, Even Flow dropped or something like that. Wow. And then like when I was in college, like it just, that was it for me. So I'm like, but like when you're in school and stuff, or in the dorm, and you're listening to new, like when Versus dropped, you're kind of with people talking or at a party. So I didn't really, to me, I like to hear like literally, like I try to hear like what's the bass doing.
Yeah.
Like, and I'll re-listen to a song.
Well, that's a musician in you.
Yeah, I love it.
You're dissecting every
song.
song.
I love it. I get so much joy out of that. So I would say my big cigar brands is Drew Estate, Foundation, and most anything AJ puts out. Those are my top 3, I would say, that I absolutely love. But I love a lot. Nice. Like we said, Crown Heads, whatever Michael's putting out. The Suma, I love the Suma.
Yeah, the Suma's great.
I can't get enough of that.
That's awesome. Yeah, I think I'm backtracking here a little bit. Earlier you said cigars are not meant to smoke quick. I've quoted this a few times. I think Larry David one time said, "You never see someone smoking a cigar who's stressed out. When they're stressed out, they're usually chain smoking cigarettes outside the office for 15 minutes. You can't chain smoke cigars."
Yeah.
And I think if you're going back and listening to albums, you know, it hasn't really, I haven't done this in a while because there hasn't been too many artists out there that I like and listen to that have new albums coming out. I guess because I'm listening to music, older music.
Can I ask you who was your band, like maybe when you were a senior or something? Or artist, I should say.
In high school?
Yeah,
Yeah. I was into a lot of like, so when I was like 17, I was into a lot of pop punk bands like Newfound Glory, Green Day, The Starting Line, Taking Back Sunday. And then at some point, my uncle, who's 20 years older than me, was like, I'm going to introduce you to classic, what you deem classic rock now because you're younger. And I was like, yeah, whatever. He showed me Zeppelin. Zeppelin's probably one of my favorite bands of all time.
Yeah.
Then he got me into like Sabbath.
Oh,
He got me into Jimi Hendrix. Yep. The band Boston.
Oh, good stuff.
Yeah,
Good stuff. Yeah.
like all those, like Steve Miller Band.
Yep.
And then in high school too, I listened to a lot of hip hop, like early Kanye, early Jay-Z, Biggie Smalls. You know, my in-laws are from Brooklyn, so like my sister-in-laws, my wife are always like,
Beastie?
Biggie's the great, Beastie, like Biggie's the greatest rapper of all. You know, they're repping Brooklyn like that.
Oh, 100%,
you know?
yeah.
But now it's now I just find myself going back to things I listened to like from when I was like 17 to like 25. Like bands like Young the Giant are a great band to listen to while you're smoking a cigar or while you're chilling outside. But then I grew up, you know, in 8th grade, I grew up listening to Audio Slave, Linkin Park.
Oh, I love Linkin Park.
Yeah, I was very fortunate.
Saw them live?
I saw them at the Project Revolution tour in 2008 with Chris Cornell and Linkin Park with Chester Bennington.
Oh, wow.
Chester Bennington came out and sang Hunger Strike with Chris Cornell.
That is so cool.
Chris Cornell came out and sang that song Breaking the Habit by Linkin Park. And it was just probably that, I would say that's probably the best concert I've ever went to, and I've been to a shit. I've seen Robert Plant live, I've seen Slayer, I've seen Megadeth, I've seen all these bands live. That was probably the best
poignant moment. Wow, that's pretty cool.
Because you don't realize how many songs Chris Cornell wrote that were Soundgarden, Audio Slave. Like
I love Audio Slave.
Yeah, Audio Slave is great.
Tom too is my son. Even he's into he's a music major at our local community college, and he's big. He got these days you could he has like the old tube head for his amp, you know, because I'm his mom. So I like, you know, we hooked him up with some old school stuff, but on his computer he's got this program that's like an amp program that will make it sound like just like is his last name Morello? I never say it right.
Tom Morello. Yep.
He could like kind of mock and right, because certain back in the day, like Led Zeppelin days, you used to have to get the right guitar too to sound like, you know, Jimmy Page.
It was only on 4 tracks,
yeah,
right? Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
So, but today it's insane. Like you can just if he's playing the same. My son's playing the same guitar, you know, whatever, you know, with the wood and the pickups and how is it, you know. Because that used to manipulate the sound, but he could just put it through his computer now.
That's crazy.
And pick the artist, and it will replicate their. It's just so cool. And
nuts.
He's like ripping like, you know, hammer-ons, like it's. Yeah. I'm just like looking at him playing. I'm like, wow, if they had this when I was 10. Yeah. So but that is just so cool that you saw that. And that you got to see Chris. I don't think I got to see Chris live. Because I know what I did see is No, I think I did. I swear I did. Temple of the Dog.
Yeah.
They right? That's the Chris Cornell tribute band.
No, I thought it was Chris Cornell with like members of Pearl Jam.
Yeah, I think I got to see them
right
they
sang
before
Hunger
he passed.
Strike. Yeah.
They had like a special concert.
That's
it was
awesome.
like a one-off thing that they did. It was very boutique. And they played the whole album through, and it just blew my mind.
Yeah. That was one of the best concerts. And I like, you know, Mike Shinoda of Linkin Park. He's done his solo stuff.
Yeah.
He's great. And you hear these guys talk about music. They talk about it so differently than anyone else.
Yeah.
You know, they're really their influences and stuff. But no, I think I love the fact that you'll pop on an album and just have a cigar, and really get to be in the moment. You know, I think I think the way things are going nowadays in terms of how fast everything is,
People need to slow down.
people need to slow down. You have an album, you have a cigar, and you just have to kind of like, you know, hang out and just relax. So, so you said your podcast is on Spotify and YouTube?
Yep, mostly, yep, 100%. Yeah, 100%. I would like some. I need Instagram followers.
Yes.
so that you can find me there, Puros and Music. But then all my links will lead you. But yeah, yes, you could watch on YouTube. Because the thing is I've been pushing more with the Instagram and Spotify because, as you know, with cigars on YouTube,
it's tough.
The growth isn't as there because they kind of I don't know. I don't want to misspeak YouTube, but I don't want to say they hide content, but they
I don't know if they hide it.
But I have to do like is this for kids? Obviously, no.
Yeah.
But it limits. I think it limits what's. Because I have to do all those perimeters.
That limits the views and stuff.
Because I used to have more views, and I just feel like it slowed down.
Mm-hmm.
And I think just recently, right there, and I don't listen. I'm here for fun.
Yeah.
I don't want to start talking about YouTube.
No, you're good. Yeah.
But you can find me there. I would say go to Instagram. That would be the best way because I do a lot of what I'll do too with Instagram. I think you could do like 3-minute reels, I believe. So I'll chop up like kind of like I'll boom boom boom. Part A, B, and C, and they can kind of catch an interview that way on Instagram as opposed to like the whole thing. That makes sense.
We clip full episodes and put it on Instagram and say, go follow, follow us.
Yeah, because I think that might be the better.
Yeah, no.
In 2025.
It's definitely the better way. A lot of people are doing it too. But yeah, no, it's definitely an interesting time now with how things are going, where I think what you're doing on your podcast is great. I think it kind of lets people to kind of take a step back and reset. And yeah, so I have a question for you before we wrap up.
Please fire away.
I hope it's not. I don't want it to.
I don't want to feel like I'm tripping over my words.
No, you're not.
Because I tell people sometimes I definitely tell people I'm an introvert extrovert because when there's like a camera right there.
Yeah,
I'm trying to pretend like there isn't because it kind of makes me like I feel like I'm tripping on my words. So it's hard to tell me woosah.
Yeah, woosah.
Tell me, Chris.
I tell my daughter woosah.
Please.
I don't know if this is a weird question or not. What is like how?
No weird questions.
Are you?
Fire away.
What's your stance or point of view of like seeing more women involved in such a male-dominated industry? How do you kind of go about like navigating through that? Are you like, obviously I know we said like I think when you go to an event, then you see like the amount of women coming and smoking. I think it could be kind of a culture shock to people. Because they're not used to it. But, like, that's what I love about cigars, where it just all... Like, a few episodes ago, we had someone who works at a casa. And he's like, I walked in and I saw, a blue-collar worker having a cigar with a doctor. Never anywhere else would their paths cross, right?
Yeah.
And I think that's kind of what you're seeing now. But, yeah, what are some things that you've noticed about being a woman in the industry that you like, that you'd like to maybe see like more of? And because right now, unless if I'm not doing my research properly, there's a few women doing videos, podcasts, stuff like that, but you don't see a lot of it. So I just would love to hear like your thoughts on it.
Yeah, no, that's a good question. I think right this second, it's making its headway. It's been taking years. You know how they say like it's like 10 years. You're what is it the saying? You become an overnight success, but it only took 10 years.
Kevin Hart said that. Kevin Hart said his overnight success took 11 years.
Yeah, yep. So I think that's what we're seeing with women in the cigar space now. It's been bubbling up, and people, I think, Cigar Journal, I believe that publication, they declared last year, there was a whole article that they wanted to purposely push forward cigar women who are making cigar owners, which shout out to Wanda, right? I don't know if you heard of her. She makes Sticks and Stones.
Nice.
Cigars. That's sticks with 3 X's, STI. XXX because she has 3 kids. So she did the 3, right? So she's a woman that owns her own company. But in Cigar Journal, they said we want to intentionally feature women who own lounges, women who own cigar companies, and just women in the space. And I feel like that is, because that's going to be a more worldwide publication, and that's trying to open people's eyes for Sister of the Leaf. Because I will say this, there's certain lounges by me, and when I say by me, I mean like an hour radius, right? Because the one just by my house just opened. But I have to literally sometimes drive like an hour to Westchester, New York, this and that to get in a lounge. But it's still very heavily, which is fine, filled with men. And the women, they'll gravitate towards each other. The 6 women in there, they'll be like, hey, Sister of the Leaf. But I will say this, it's coming now, is like you'll see on Instagram, like shout out to Liz. You must know Liz.
Yes,
She owns, her and her husband and a partner own Noble Cigars. So they're doing ladies' nights, and this has been like the last 2 years. And even now, I'm saying like if they did like an event, let's say once every quarter, let's say, but now they're booming them like every other Friday. If you could see them, they're out there and they're doing like ladies' nights. And so they're, you know what I mean? It's like it's starting to like more become like a thing now, like where it's like hey, every Friday night it's we're here. Even across, they're showing up.
Yeah, even across the board, you have like Raquel Quesada. She's going to at some someday. Right, Lizette Carrillo. Lizette Perez Carrillo.
Which is
you
beautiful
have her.
Thing.
Yeah, you have.
I like how they changed it to Casa.
Yes.
Because now, right, the house, because, right, Lisette is kind of going to take that into the next generation. Yeah. It's
and then
a beautiful thing.
I had the fortune.
And, make it women focused.
Yes.
Because we were very much left out of the conversation, I think, from like the beginning of time until 2 days ago. 2 days ago. So, I don't know.
No, you're right.
But I think Liz, Remarkable Liz, check her out on Insta. She's definitely... she is a hustler.
Yeah, she has a crazy following. Yeah,
but she drives all over. I'm saying she's keeping it present. It's not just that she's doing 2 ladies' nights a year. You follow her, you'll see she's doing. It's almost as if it's like every Friday now, and I'm like, wow. But that again, that whole overnight success. It only took 10 years because she's been busting her butt, and
now it's showing.
Like, they're like, oh, where you been? She's like, where have I been? I've been here all along.
I've been here.
It's
interesting to kind of witness and see. I don't know how other industries, that pair alongside cigars, like wine or whiskey or bourbon. I don't know how it is, if it's comparable to cigars, but you're not seeing it a lot. With women kind of being, having a voice within the industry, which is always, but like I just mentioned, you have some of these well-established companies where their daughters are kind of.
I love when I saw that with Lisette. I thought that was great.
Yeah.
I don't. What state are they based out of, or she lives?
I think Florida.
Okay, yeah. See, because
I'm just going to assume most cigar companies, if they're in the States, are in Florida.
Yeah.
But like Raquel Quesada, I had the good fortune of being able to interview her a few years ago back for like Women's History Month, and just talking about that. She's very heavily involved in the process over at Quesada. I told her, I was like, the Casa Magna is like probably one of my favorite cigars, and she's like, oh, thank you.
Yeah.
We're having a Connecticut come out. I was like, I need to try it. I haven't tried it yet. But no, I think it is interesting, and it just kind of goes to show you the evolution of a space, of a industry is kind of growing now, and you're always seeing evolution in cigars, from people who are in their early 20s starting off, with companies or collaborations with celebrities, like we said. Like it's always evolving.
And I think also, if I may, shout out to Drew Estate, because the Dominicana that they just put out with Izzy and Pedro and what JD is doing and all that, they also understand. I think, in my opinion, they also understand that cigars are for everyone.
Yeah.
Not just old timey guys with like suspenders and a derby hat, so shout out to them too, because they also are very all inclusive, and I feel like their events are very, you don't feel like it's a man or woman thing, it's just like
it's a
cigar lover. So
but Drew Estate's profile too, their cigar line, their cigar profile, I think has a little bit of something for everybody. I'm not I think the Dominicana, very sweet. The acid's very sweet, but I think that draws in like.
Well, that's what kind of what came to my mind. If I may interrupt you, because I feel like, and I think I know, and I hear from women, we don't really want to be clumped with that, because the Dominicana, believe it or not, it's just a sweet tip. It's not, but it's very much. And I don't want to, I don't want to get my fur up, but people automatically just are like, oh, you're a girl. Here, have this.
Tip.
Yeah. But is that, what do you think about that?
No, I agree. I think
because this is not this is bold.
Yeah, no, I think when it's kind of nuts that the correlation of a sweet tipped or infused cigars
are only like marketed for
for like, oh well, you're a woman, you could have you could smoke those.
Well, on the flip side of that, then let me ask you, have you tried the Dominicana yet?
I have.
Or like a fat bottom Betty?
I have.
And what would you rate like a fat bottom Betty? Would you say you loved it? Because see, you're a guy, and it's kind of got sweetness, so.
I think I'm realizing now, even I was having this conversation with my friend the other day.
It depends on your mood too, right?
Yeah, like my one friend loves Angry Orchard. I don't like ciders. I think they're just too sweet. If I'm going to drink a bunch of them, I know I'm going to get a headache. Do I want to smoke something that is a sweet tip or is infused? Or I think that's going to take away, because it's just too sweet. It's like, but my palate has changed, because I used to, I could put 2 French vanilla creamers in my coffee and the sweetness wouldn't kill me, and I could add a little sugar, that's too sweet. Now I'm realizing I just need 1 regular creamer, a dash of sugar. So my palate's changing. So I liked the cigars. I loved the branding of them. They were just at the time too sweet for me. But I've been saying it all years, I was on paternity leave, I came back. I've been just straight up enjoying Connecticut cigars in general, Connecticut wrapped, Ecuadorian Connecticut broadleaf. So my palate's changed, where when I first started, it was Nicaraguan or Habano bombs all the time, right? But my
Habano bombs.
But
that's a good name of a podcast.
But my palate just has changed. So maybe I will give it I like to give every cigar at least 2 or 3
Yeah,
smokes.
sure, 100%.
So maybe there's a time where I, instead of having coffee in the morning, I'll have a water with a fat bottom Betty or the Dominicana.
Oh.
And then maybe my palate will change. But if I'm smoking it later at night after having 2 cups of coffee, maybe a soda, I'm kind of like, all right, I'm tapped out with that.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I love just more like the natural sweetness of it. I always talk about this cigar, the La Collection from Crown Heads. I think it came out when I first started in like 2019, or maybe it was a year earlier. That was like smoking a chocolate bar. It was just naturally sweet, and it was the Connecticut broadleaf,
Yeah.
But I don't necessarily think infused cigars.
When if I may, what about like creaminess? Because sometimes I feel like there's a close second of like, is it sweet or is it creamy? Or like when you say chocolate too, because I equate
like
that sometimes.
Chocolate,
I equate like the chocolate notes in a cigar. Sometimes like when I do say that in a review, it doesn't always have to deem full like sugar sweetness.
No, it's just creamy.
It's a different. It's
like
just
the brulee
like
is a perfect example.
It's not leathery, but
Like the Sober Mesa Brulee is a perfect example of creaminess,
Yeah.
Those I think I kind of lean more towards, but I with my cigar I like it to pair well with a coffee, or if I'm having a soda. So I'm already having that sweet sugariness. So I kind of want there to be a little bit of bite to my cigar when I'm doing it. Yeah. So, but we appreciate you coming on today.
Thank you.
I really hope to, have you on again.
Oh, my pleasure.
Or, I can hop on whatever you need. Like, I would love it. I think you're awesome. You could just tell. No, I'm just saying, I could tell the passion in it. I know you said, things happened during COVID and you pivoted to, cigar smoker, and just kind of seeing your content, seeing you on there, seeing kind of like how lively you are and how much fun you have with it. I think it's something that people should, recognize, because
Thank
it's,
you.
at the end of the day, we get to enjoy cigars.
Oh, please. It's the best.
And it is the best. And you meet a lot of great people. Like, I'm glad we got to meet and connect, If you want to do any final, plugs or promote, whatever you got going on, please let our audience know so they can go follow you.
Well, also on Facebook, it's Hudson Valley Herf, as you know, HERF. So check that out. Please follow that group. And just go to your local lounge. Like I said, this is jrcigars.com. I understand, but also if you can support your local brick and mortar, please get your cigars from your local brick and mortar, whatever state you're in.
Yep.
Does this broadcast in Alaska? Because there is a.
I mean,
they're
if you want to
in Alaska, there's
give a shout out to Alaska.
Yeah.
I hope some people in Alaska listen to us, because that would be awesome.
Yeah, totally.
Is there a shop in Alaska?
I think there's a podcast. I don't know if they still do it, but because they were smoking. Yeah,
that's awesome.
Or it was cool.
In an igloo or while ice fishing?
Hey.
Nah, that'd be funny. But no, we appreciate you coming on today. It was a lot of fun. It was
my pleasure.
Great getting to know you.
Yeah.
Thank you guys for watching another episode of the Long Ash Podcast. Please go subscribe to our channel, like our videos, give us a follow for more awesome content coming through. And until next time, I'm Chris.